Hey, vinyl community, how are we? Adam here from The Freight. I wanted to take a minute and do a review of the new Mobile Fidelity release, Santana Lotus. This is a super cool release. Came out last week, shipped last week. I ordered this as soon as it came out. I was very excited about it. This is a live recording from 1973. Came out in 74 in Japan only. It was recorded in Japan July 3rd and 4th in 1973. And it's from those two dates. And it is a fantastic live recording. I know the vinyl tag asked for 2024 asked what your best live recording album is. This probably just jumped up to it. Not to spoil the party, but this is excellent. And I'm going to talk about some reasons why. So this is Santana. You can, if you read through it, I'm going to show you the inserts and everything like that in it. But when you read through this, it's called the new Santana band, because there's some compositions on here from the old Santana band. So there's some members that flow in and out. But Santana around this era were truly pioneering the jazz fusion, rock fusion sound. There's elements of true jazz improvisation that are happening throughout this record, and it's live and it's improvised by some of the best players in the world, obviously including Santana, Carlos Santana himself. But there's two organ players, a couple of different drummers, a couple of different percussionists. It is bass, obviously. These musicians are the top of the top, and they are executing this music in beautiful improvisational ways, taking it places that are super cool, weaving in and out of melodies. This is a record that could challenge you a little bit to listen to if you're not used to jazz, rock fusion, jazz fusion. I say jazz fusion first because there's so many elements of jazz in this record, and I truly mean that. But it could challenge you a little bit to be outside your comfort zone if you're really trying to hear some classic rock sounding stuff, which is plentiful on this record. So don't get me wrong, you'll get that fixed too. But there's times, this is a 3-record set, so there's times from beginning to end of this where you are in the jam, and these jams are extended and they're beautiful. These jams have purpose, they have beautiful intent, they're not meandering. I am the first to tell you, I love the Grateful Dead, especially, all iterations really. But, I'm the first to tell you that there's not always wonderful direction with some of the Grateful Dead's jams. And please, Deadheads, I'm one of you. Simpatico, we're good. I love the Grateful Dead. But this is different. But it has the same thread of free improvisation, I'll call it. This really goes out into some parts of where it feels like you're almost listening to like a Coltrane record, truly. It's got that, it goes out that far at times. It's really cool. I loved it. And so I have an original pressing. I'm going to do a little bit of back and forth in a minute. But what I want to show you first is everything that's in here. I'm going to start by showing you the vinyl itself, because it's on, the super high quality Mobile Fidelity vinyl. It is perfectly flat, dead quiet vinyl. Pressed at Fidelity record pressing, which I did a previous video on Mobile Fidelity, talked about how the stuff coming out of there is just, especially starting this year when they started using Fidelity pressings, Fidelity pressing plant, that the stuff has just been really good. And I have a few other Santanas as well. But let me just show you the vinyl real quick. They all have this same kind of black insert label, so I'm not going to show you all 3. There's no need to do that. You can just see this and get the idea. Hopefully there's not too much glare on this. Put it up here. Perfectly flat. The awesome MoFi Gain 2 label. Again, 3-record set. I'll talk a little bit about the music as far as the flow of the music. Side 1 and 2, record 1 kind of opens up side 1. It's like you can tell everyone's kind of getting into it. Everyone's kind of settling in and warming up. It's a little bit of an extended jam to start. Starts going in a cool Latin fusion direction, and then by side 2, everyone's warmed up. And they're in Oyo Como Va. They're doing Black Magic Woman, and they're all like well settled in by side 2, and it's jamming. Record 2 has side A and side B of record 2. They definitely go into some percussion jams on these sides. Not quite the drums and space that the Grateful Dead tend to go into. There's a bit more structure and sort of direction in it, and it's very listenable. And with the percussion and everything that's going on, it's fantastic and very listenable. Not to mention they weave melodies in and out. One of the things I love most about this record and this performance, there are teasers of songs, of classic songs that you know for sure, all over the 3 records and all over the performance in here. So you have, for example, there's times where they're jamming and they're going at it, and all of a sudden, Carlos Santana goes into the solo from All Along the Watchtower. Just ripping it, and then takes that for a while. Weaves back out of it. Before that, and I want to say might have even been the beginning of that jam, several minutes before, they were playing Breezin' by George Benson, and they were ripping it, and it was badass. Things like that are interwoven throughout the whole performance, record 1, 2, and 3. You're gonna get these little ear teasers that are just what I love about live performances, and what I love about really good improv. Weaving in and out of melodies beautifully like that is a wonderful thing. And this band, Santana and this band, do it as good as anybody I've ever heard. Truly. And this is one of my favorite genres of music, and this is truly as good as I've heard anyone do it. It's wonderful. So let's go into a little bit of what this package is all about. So before you ask, I've been asked this question before. This is the triple gatefold, okay? Everyone asks, what do you use for the triple gatefold for the plastics? So what I do, it's a kind of simple fix for this, like for the outer sleeves, for the plastic sleeves. What I do is I just take 2 of them and I double one, so the middle one ends up doubled up, and then I take 2 of the regular gatefolds, slide them on, and so there's always an overlap on one of them. That's just how I do it. It works. It protects it. That's it. So that's how I get it on that. So let me show you from like sort of actually going from the actual unfolding of this. Hopefully you guys can get this. So here's the cover. Beautiful cover. Beautiful artwork. Opens up to the first gatefold. You have JC here. This is obviously the concert venue where they were. It looks like a pretty good-sized stadium, for sure. You can see that. Pretty impressive. Then, as you open up to the trifold, you have Buddha, and you have what I believe, I don't know for sure, is a Hindu god on the right as well. So there's, the Buddha. There's what I believe is one of the Hindu gods. Again, I don't know. Please, I truly don't know, so I probably shouldn't even say that, but I believe that's who it might be. But I'm guessing these are, some sort of holy figures in general, okay? So we have that in the middle. The artwork in this is just truly... You know what I noticed? Actually, I'll tell you about this in a second. Let me show you the inserts first, because there are quite a number of inserts here, and they're really worth seeing. I'm actually going to put this over here while I do this. I'll show you the first one. And they do kind of like interconnect, but these are, they nailed these inserts. I mean, these are special. So these did come with the original recording as well. So we have this, right? Let's kind of, I know I'm probably not going to be able to get the whole thing in here, but you can get the idea. I'll go frame by frame. Obviously we have some credits here, some kind of, you know, beautiful moon setting. We have another sort of shot from the crowd here. Beautiful earth with some light passing through. And this is cool. I'm going to show you the other side in a second, but if you check this out, look at all the, I want to make sure I show you right side up. Look at all the musicians and equipment on this stage. It is a crowded stage. There's a lot of musicians there, and they were doing their thing. And boy, does it show in the sound stage of this record. Let me flip this around and show you this side now. You have this beautiful sort of spacey, psychedelic, semi-religious, iconic artwork here. Some sort of deities, and there's a plane that says Santana here. The other one I'll show you has the other one. This is quite elaborate, quite elaborate. And again, this was in the original too. I have an original, and it's quite beat up, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you that now too. So here we have pictures of the band. Obviously there's Santana, the man himself. We have Armando Peraza and Doug Rauch. Hopefully I'm saying those right. And I'm showing you this because these musicians deserve a shout out. Trust me, when you hear it, you'll understand. Leon Thomas. Kind of a picture of the band on stage there. Man, this guy was ripping on the whole album. And when I see a picture of him, one of the greatest heads of hair I've seen in rock and roll. Jose Chepito Arias. Hopefully I said that right. Please just a moment for my boy Jose's hair. Whoo! That's special. I see you, Jose. That's what I'm talking about. Michael Shreve, percussion and drums. Some incredible drum sounds and percussion sounds on this record, man. And I believe that's all of them. Did I get through all of them? Yeah, that's all of them. Oh, in the back here, sorry. Tom Doster, Richard Kermode. Some organ, I believe some organ action going on here for the organ players. Okay, so what I want to show you now is how this sort of packaging compares to my original 1974 pressing of this that I found in my local record shop last year, actually, this past year. So as you can see, this is the jacket is very, very beat up. Like it's kind of frail. But I want to show it to you because I think it'll give you some good reference of how above and beyond Mobile Fidelity went with this pressing, because there's a lot to this and it must not have been easy to reprint all the things that are going on here. So here's the original. Again, very beat up. Here's the back cover. See if I can get you in on that label there, on the CBS information there. Hopefully I didn't go too low with that. Okay, let's open her up. So, again, here's the first gatefold with JC in the picture there. Again, very beat up, but you can see, you know, the detail that MoFi went to recreate this. I'm going to show that in a second. Let's see, I do believe I have one other insert in here. I just want to make sure if I have all the inserts in there that I'm showing them to you guys, because I have the inner sleeves. Yeah, I have the inner sleeves, but not the inserts. So I want to show you guys that. So let's see. This is the trifold. Again, you can see it's like barely hanging on by a thread. But it's cool to have. When this came in to the record shop that I went to get that I purchased this at, it only had 2 of the 3 records. It had records 2 and 3. It was missing record 1. So I got a fantastic price, and I think I paid like under $10 for it for sure. He gave me a ridiculous price. Not to mention the cover's so beat up. But the vinyl is easily in VG plus condition, truly. It's very clean. So let me show you the vinyl because it's got a different label on the original. And I want to talk about the sound between the two. Okay. Here is the original, and each record has a slightly different kind of lotus flower on it. But let me show you this. Hopefully you guys can see this without too much glare here. Okay? I'm going to try to get up close with the label. Hopefully that's visible to you guys. And hopefully you can see the vinyl's in definitely VG to VG plus condition. And I want to tell you about the sound of this. This is a great sounding recording, the original. It has probably a little more high end than the MoFi. It might also have slightly more mid-range, touch more, but it doesn't necessarily mean I like it better, and I'll go into why. But this is a really good sounding recording. I can't knock this. And again, I have a really good copy. It sounds very clean. The MoFi is definitely quieter, not even a question. It's 100%. It's like silent, the MoFi. This has some surface noise, obviously because of the age. And but it is a very good sounding pressing. So I just want to put that out there because I think that's super important. I have several Santana records, as you can see. I tried to pop some out. Some originals, and then a few of the Mobile Fidelity releases from this year, 2024, last year actually. And they are really good. They are really good original recordings. So, for example, I'm going to pull this one because this one's really good. Okay, so Santana Inner Secrets, and this just came out as MoFi too. I didn't get the MoFi one. I'm thinking about getting it because the MoFis are so good of Santana releases. But I had this one already, and it sounds great. The original sounds great. So don't be afraid to pick up a clean Santana original because they sound really good, and you can get them pretty cheap. I do think, overall, the Mobile Fidelity ones that I've heard edge the originals for sure. And that includes Lotus. Oh, I forgot to show you. Sorry, this is the original inner sleeve that it came in, the Japanese pressing. So you can see it's got a hole here, but Santana, Lotus, I do have 3 of those. Okay, and this is the thing I wanted to show you. And this is on throughout the record too. If you look here, you can see these birds, right? See those birds? So these birds here, they're all over the record in different various wing patterns and everything like that. If you're a guitar player, you might recognize these birds. I did. I believe this predates Paul Reed Smith guitars, 1973. Okay, going into 74. I know that Paul Reed Smith is hugely connected to Santana as far as his guitars go. And the inlays, the beautiful inlays, made famous by Paul Reed Smith, are beautiful birds in flight that look just like this. So I want to know the connection, and I would love to know the connection. And if someone out there knows it, like if this album was the true inspiration for that, That's cool, and I would love to know that. Maybe drop that in the comments. But I definitely think that it's no coincidence that these are here and all over this album. And, I know Paul Reed Smith guitar started not too long after that, and Santana was a huge client of his and still is, I believe. On this record, I believe he's playing Les Paul. From the research I did and the pictures that I did to show him with instruments, he's playing a Les Paul, and you can really hear those humbuckers rip. So to me, it's definitely not a single coil guitar, but that's just from what I've seen in my best guess. So how does it compare to the new MoFi, the new Mobile Fidelity release? To me, on my system, this was better. This edged it out, the original. Not by light years, but by a good amount. And here's the reason why. Although the original had more top end and maybe a little bit more upper mids, to me, on my system, which was enjoyable in some songs, overall, the balance of this was beautiful. It was really, they nailed it. And the balance of the soundstage of this, the Mobile Fidelity, is just really perfect, honestly. From the low range, the bass to the highs, it feels very natural, and everything just kind of sits beautifully. I don't really miss the high end. It got a touch shrill on the original pressing at times, not a lot. And it wasn't anything that would give you ear fatigue. It's just at times I noticed a couple of pushing a little too much. But it's a pretty open recording, which is good. Again, it sounds good. And you might prefer that, and that's cool. I was excited about this because it's hard to find an original Lotus, especially in good condition. They're usually beat to crap. The one that I have is, as you can see, beat to crap. The vinyl's pretty good, but it's like still not nearly as clean as this, not nearly as quiet as this. This was a beautiful release. You saw the details of the posters and the inserts. The vinyl is dead silent. This is just an enjoyable listening experience. You're going to put this on, and if you are into this or you're wanting to get into the rock fusion, the jazz fusion, this is it, man. This is a fantastic example of this type of music. And really, Santana kind of at the almost the peak of his powers, the way he's ripping, man. Oh my gosh, like just ripping guitar. And the whole band is just, again, top of the top musicians. And there are times where I swear you feel like you're listening to like a Coltrane album that's pushing things. And then all of a sudden it comes back and it's just the coolest, bluesy, rocky jam with a beautiful melody interwoven through it. It's great. It is a fantastic release. I love that I get to have a beautiful, pristine copy of this because, again, they're not easy to find. They were only pressed in Japan in the 70s. I think there was some kind of re-release in the 2015, 17, something like that. I don't know a lot of details about that release, and I don't know how it sounds. I have no idea. But I think it was fairly limited. I don't think that's necessarily that easy to find either. And so I don't know how the sound compares, but I can tell you, if you want a copy that is amazing of this, it's limited. You got to act soon because this Mobile Fidelity stuff, the Santana stuff, I think sells well. This is expensive. It was $100 and something, I forget, but I think it was over $100 that I paid for it. I bought it the day it came out. I have a pretty low number. My number is 214. I know the numbers don't matter, but I'm just telling you what number I have. So again, this is great. Can't recommend this enough. If you're wanting an awesome copy of this, this is an excellent record. I recommend this highly. All right, so there is my review on Santana Lotus Mobile Fidelity and compared to the original that I have. Please leave your comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Are you going to pick this up? Is it too much? Hit me up. Let me know. Let's have a conversation. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. It goes a long way. Going to do a lot more videos this year. And we'll see you soon. Peace out.